It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am One Bar. In this episode, we're going to be tearing down Mike Zimmer's post-game presser against the Texans, where the Vikings walk away with a win, their first win of the year. And Mike Zimmer, you know what? Damn it. Go watch this thing because he has a mild smile to his face. I wouldn't say it was a full-blown smile, but a mild smile, more of a smirk. So let's get right into this. So Zimmer, right off the bat, one of the big things that stuck out is weird week. We were waiting for Vikings to test positive of COVID after the Tennessee Titans. Luckily, they didn't, but he did mention there were some false positives as early as this morning on a starting player. So they were threw a little wrinkle into the game right off the bat, but all was well. They even got their inactives in 10 minutes late, which he mentioned. So some added drama to a Vikings team that is already has enough drama on their plate looking for that first win, but all was well. But up until that very moment, Zimmer and the coaching staff was probably wondering if there was actually be a game. Luckily there was, and let's get into that. So one of the big things he mentioned were no turnovers, which was big. Taking care of the football, time of possession, all things that the Vikings have not been able to do throughout the season so far. They took care of that, which was a big part of getting the win. Another thing that stuck out in the press conference was he actually gave a little bit of love to Kirk Cousins, something he has yet to do this year in a post game. So he said Kirk Cousins had a very good game. He was aggressive. He told Kubiak to be aggressive with Kirk, which he was. He said he had some great throws. He did mention that receivers did help him out, which they did. Justin Jefferson had some tough catches. Kyle Rudolph had that tough catch, so that was good to see. Dalvin Cook just spoke about everything that we already know. He's got a big heart. He's out there playing tough, playing hard, and that showed with his stat line. And then also, which was a little bit surprising, he gave a little love to the offensive line. He said the offensive line did a very good job blocking for Dalvin Cook, which they did look more improved, but the fact that he actually threw some love their way was surprising. Just the fact that he's not one to just go out and do that. So he must have been very, very pleased with that. On the defensive side of the ball, just said they played very well early in the game, took care of the time of possession, were very good on third downs and in the red zone, which they were. Less big plays. They gave up a few big plays, but not as much as we've seen in the previous games, and that he was just pleased with their fight and able to compete with an offense that is pretty good. On the Harrison Smith, you can tell the guy loves Harrison Smith. He even said, "I love Harrison Smith like he is my son," which you can tell. I mean, Harrison Smith is just a very, very lovable guy. Went the extra mile to say he's not a dirty player. We know Harrison Smith isn't a dirty player. He plays tough. He makes big hits, but he is not known to be a dirty player, and that's what pissed him off the most, which he even said was just the fact that he gets ejected for that play, which was definitely a penalty, but just with his track record, Zimmer, you could tell he was mad. The fact that with his track record, if he was known to be a dirty player, maybe, yeah, that makes sense, but it just didn't warrant him getting ejected. Thomason asked later in the press conference, do you think this is going to warrant a suspension? And, we know Mike Zimmer is not a big Thomason fan, just said that's not his call and was very, very short with that. But you could tell Zimmer was upset about that. You could tell he's probably more upset just with the fact that people might think that he was being dirty, which he wasn't. So he was just kind of sticking up for him, which was great to see. That's why everybody loves Mike Zimmer. That's why he is the players just love this guy. Going to George Iloka. Obviously, there was a question about George Iloka's play. He said he saw some mistakes in Iloka, which everybody saw all that. But one thing is worth noting, which will go in Iloka's favor, is they prepared him all week to be the nickel guy. He was not out there. He was not prepared, let's say that, as far as what Zimmer said. And at one point, Zimmer even mentioned he had to ask Iloka if he knew what he was doing out there at safety because they have not prepared him to be at safety. He said they were preparing him in case Gladney went down. So Iloka, gross game, but at least we know that if it gives any comfort to us that he wasn't preparing for that spot, and it's probably on the coaching staff more than Iloka. So that's pretty much it. Again, the big things to take away were Zimmer gave a little love to Kirk Cousins, which was great to see. We want to see We want to see our coach backing our quarterback, something he hasn't really done a ton of in these first couple of games, which makes sense. And then he was just very pleased with the defense. So that's about it.